Previously on Spectating.
All right, it's ult time. It's ult time. This is gonna be a huge ult. I'm ready. I don't know what's gonna happen. Here we go. Arista's getting healed. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Is this kind of an ult combo? The Moira ult? You know what? What is happening? Huge pick by the Mei. Random wall. Just have the wall there. Cleanse has been used. Sojourn jumped into the back line of the team. I don't know what's happening, but this is going great. Here we go. Wait a second, they're all so low. You heal. You get your ult, get your ult, get your ult. Come on, use it. Use the ult. Okay, well.
Where are they now?
All right, so today's video, we are back with another Where Are They Now? And in the previous video, we watched a Bronze 4 support on PlayStation in a bingo video from 2 years ago. So this is one of the original bingo videos we did for Spectating. And in the previous VOD, they also played Moira on King's Row. Main feedback was to be more aggressive with damage orbs and also to not waste healing orbs bouncing into the skybox, which to this day, that's what it still does. Okay, and they say, hello. It's been over 2 years since my first VOD, and honestly, I was scared to submit another one because I feel like I haven't improved very much considering how long it's been. I would say that I'm definitely better than I was. I'm still nowhere near where I'd like to be mechanically. Sorry if it's painful to watch me try to aim. I mean, I would say, like, listen, everybody progresses and gets better at games differently or whatever they do in general, so don't be too upset with that. And any progress is progress, right? You said this game was rough. Like, as in we had around 3 kills each by the end of the first round, and my teammate fell off the map during his ultimate. I think collectively we just played badly, and I am absolutely included in that. I'm joining that Ana from the other day in Trash 5, I fear. A callback to the Trash 5 player, apparently. They weren't Trash 5. After getting rolled, I decided to play way more aggressive and try to make some plays, which sometimes worked and sometimes led me to feeding. We all definitely played much better after the first round and ended up being a super close game. I'd love to hear any advice that you and chat have for me. I'm always looking to improve. All right, let's find out. It's been 2 years since the last video. And yeah, we're going to guess the rank at the end of the video and see where the progress is at. I did get a bit of a hint that the progress isn't as aggressive as they would have liked. Maybe that'll help me. Let's find out. Totally fine starting spot here for both of you. I don't think this is an issue. One problem your comp does have, though, is, like, Mercy Brig can work, but it requires your teammates not taking a bunch of damage. Now, based off of how your teammates are playing, they're going to take a bunch of damage because they're all stacked. So this is one of those things where I don't need a pause for it. But, like, where a comp can work, but you need to make sure you're playing it correctly. And one of the reasons why this comp would struggle is because of the amount of damage you're going to take if you play stacked. So you actually would want to kind of be all over the place and play angles rather than stacked because your support line doesn't have as much ability to heal like 5 people at once, which is why it went that way. The reason why that team fight went was because basically your team just kind of got like slowly grinded down. Like that's what happened. Now back to Kiriko. This is a good swap. You said is the Seraphim event today? Yes, tonight. It's like I like late tonight. Okay, here we go. Alright, you're going for your high ground flank. Okay, let me look at something else here. Okay, yeah, you can do this. The reason why you can do this is because, in my opinion, you have an Ana now, so your comp is completely swapped. Your Ana can deal with... It happens to us. That's just about projectile speed. Your Ana can take care of, like, the front line. So you can go for those flanks, which is a totally fine playstyle on Kiriko. It's almost encouraged on Kiriko to sometimes go for plays like that. Good luck to your team here. You have to make a decision. Do you run into the ult? Okay, here's where I'm going to pause this very quickly because I think, like, you did something. Yeah, someone in the chat said it too. You got to be decisive here. Like, this is one of those situations where, like, you can't really just, like, sit here and, like, make, like, a last-second decision type of thing, right? You just need to either go in there and heal your teammates and just hope for the best, or don't go in there at all. And I think, like, that's the problem you kind of ran into is, like, you got really indecisive. If you want me to be... Honestly, I think you go in there with them. Even if you watch, like, you know, you can go all the way up to pro matches, all the way down to, like, a bronze game, right? You can do, either or. Like, it's You know, the point I'm making here is like, you just your teammates are probably going to get rolled. So like, why not go in there and try to keep them alive, and then you all just reset together? Because like maybe it's just one in there. I get it, right? But it ended up being a Bastion also. So when you lose two like that really easily, you're just not going to win the team fight to begin with. Like you're not going to win the team fight. I mean, Emongg is over here vibing. Look at him, right? He is just vibing. I mean, the hair is unreal today. Like, you're not going to win that team fight. Basically, to summarize it in one word, or not one word, 2 words, be decisive. Okay, here we go.
What's up? Feels like sewing, huh?
Either way here, like, just to kind of point out what happens, is the reason why I wanted you to be decisive is because you're not going to win that team fight, right? You're not going to win the team fight. So if you try to run away and you stagger, this is how you end the round with like 3 elims total, is because look at what's happening. Your teammates that died previously, because your team decided to get out, are now trying to run back. They're falling over. They go back and die again. And now it's like, well, there goes that point. But here's the problem. Your teammates then died late on the point, which means they now have to spawn back up, which means, well, never mind. A Reaper went into your spawn. I didn't even know it was a Reaper there, so you can thank your Reaper for that one. Here we go. Yep.
Under my protection.
Oop. Nice off angle on the Widow. Nice. Good job. Did I see this right? Oh, I want to give you my thought process. This is what was going through my mind. I'm sitting here going, okay, I was going to ask Chad, I'm like, for anybody who plays a lot of Kiriko, does the Kiriko Suzu one give you the extra like speed boost for your teammates too, or is it just for the Kiriko? Because then I'm sitting there in my mind going like, hey, if you ever get that perk, you could use that for Soldier. And it'll be, this will be one of those rare opportunities where you can kind of waste your Suzu, not waste your Suzu, but kind of use it to help your Soldier. That was my thought process. Obviously, you don't have that perk at this point in the game. I was just thinking that'd be kind of a cool combo you could do with like Soldier 76. That was my mind. So I'm not looking at the screen, and then I see this. That Soldier just jumped off the map. And you know what? I love the confidence in this Soldier going, you know what? This is just how it is. I'm gonna, you know what? If there's anybody down here, and I'm sure there is, I'm gonna take care of this. All right? You know what? You said he's taking the craziest off angle? I mean, technically he could be. I mean, if there was a way to survive down here, you could technically do damage through here, see? So he's not like, technically not wrong. I don't know if it's gonna go well. I mean, he's already, according to the game, he's already fallen over, but, you know. Big slam alert. Nice. Oh, man. That was the best skin for the situation, wasn't it? Isn't that great? Oh, I know he walked over mid-ult. That was the best part. I mean, you already know what I'm going to say here. Kitsune this pretty early. Especially, wait for this ult. So I don't wait to Kitsune yet, because they're going to be stuck here, right? And let me just kind of like... this is an easy one for people, but let me pause and tell you why. The reason why you wait to use your Kitsune here, because I see people ult stack all the time, is let the Bastion ult have the ability to get their cooldowns out or get a kill. So if you waste your ultimate, and then the Bastion ultimate ends up killing 2 even with your ult, you kind of waste it, right? Like, if you really want to get into ult economy, which you don't have to get into ult economy, but like, you at least need to try your best not to over ult in that situation, especially with what you have, and you did a good job not using it, is basically what I'm saying. That's one of the point that out for anybody watching is like, be careful in situations where you're using an ultimate that can win a team fight. You have the time to wait on that one, because Bastion is more likely to get cooldowns out. By the way, this Kitsune I'm fine with. People are like, what do you mean they pop window? At that timing was next to perfect. I actually think it was fine. That was almost like the same timing. In my opinion. What rank is this? We're going to guess after. We don't know yet. I'll be honest with you, like, from what I've seen, and I could be wrong, I don't think they're in bronze anymore. But, hear me out. Not their hint, but they did say that they haven't progressed or, like, got as far as they want to since. So there's a world where we could be, like, in silver, but you still sometimes get, like, bronze. Because of the lobby range. But it's hard to say, because, like, just because somebody falls off the map as Soldier 76, that can happen in any rank. So we'll see. Obviously not the best defense, but we knew that was coming, based off of the description. Hey, look at this bond in session in spawn with all the sprays. Good job. There you go, nice job. So far, good pick by your teammates. A little bit of an interesting pathing, but I actually don't mind this. Okay, this is the part I do mind, okay? And let me explain why. Your team just got 2 kills. And I know you want to go and flank as Moira, and, like, don't get me wrong. If you go up here and flank and, like, your teammates all survive, this is going to be great. But let me ask you a question. Why not just go, like, right here and start doing the damage from here? Because, like, you've already left your team at this point, but you have 2 kills, right? And once again, I mean, look at emongg. He is vibing again, right? This is if emongg is vibing like this, right? You got to be able to kind of be able to counter him with that, right? The point I'm making is, why not just sit here and basically shut shooting at them? Why not start, like, shooting at them here to force them to turn around more, and then you just win the team fight for real? Now, more than likely, you're probably going to win this anyway, but I just want to kind of show you where you basically are in a huge numbers advantage, and you don't even need to go for this flank play, because, like, if this was 5v5, this makes sense, right? You can create an angle, you're, like, pressuring them off. But look at this. Just 3 of them. Now, it might work out, because, like, your teammates are still not pushing in, so you might be able to get behind the BAP and get the kill, but, like, I'm just trying to show you where you're not doing anything during that time, right? So, like, now it looks great, right? But I still think that you're better off just assisting your team in that situation. Okay. What, you saying the Moira dive on the soldier there? Listen, is it the best play? No. But, like, I'll explain something in a second. There we go. Waiting for the heals. Okay. So far, it's been a point. You can get up there with your team. Listen, if listen. There comes a time where people are gonna, like, not get on the objective, and sometimes you have to make a decision, especially as a support. Do you get off the point? And here's my take. Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, what's the point of, like, sitting on the point if your teammates are gonna sit there and basically, like, you need to win the team fight. The point I'm making, it doesn't matter if you just sit there, because if your teammates lose the team fight, that extra 7 meters ain't gonna matter. So at a certain point, you just get off the cart. So, like, what I'm getting at is, I think you made the right decision here. I'm just getting off the point. Your teammates eventually get on there, but, like, that's on your team for, like, not working together on positioning. So, like, I'm fine with it, right? You know? All right, let's keep it going. I just see that happen sometimes in spectators where players will, like, they end up getting stuck to the cart. They're like, I have to be on the cart. This needs to push. But then you lose the team fight. And I'm like, yeah, but you just lost, like, 2 minutes worth of time getting back to the point, all because the team decided that they're all over the place with that one. So.
Surrender to my will.
All right, you're popping Moira to keep your teammates alive. Yeah. Worked out fine. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I do want you to be careful of this, okay? Just, I don't mind you being aggressive, but, like, this is the second time I've seen you be really aggressive into the back line. It's all hindsight, because obviously you're up in numbers. I just don't want to see you give numbers advantages back. Like, for example, on the first point when you went in there, you kind of, like, went at that soldier, and the soldier, a lot of the times, will kill you in that situation. Apparently not. I don't mind aggressive Moira play. Just do less of the, I'm going to fade right in front of your face, is all I'm getting at. Jankler, thanks for the 5 months of the Prime, so thank you, thank you. Did I'm stinky? Eh, well, is what it is, right? Little bit, not, that's like a bit of you not paying attention to your tank, and a bit of your tank not paying attention to where your team's at. That was, like, kind of like both of you in that situation. You know what I mean? Which characters are meta right now? I mean, you can play a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's whatever you're probably comfortable on, you can probably play. Just make sure you have things, like, have a little bit of synergy with them. Ooh. I see you're running. You're trying here. Okay, got a health pack. Nice. Nice one clip on the Sojourn. But, like, this is, the thing is, like, even this right here. Yeah, okay. Let's not do that. Listen, I don't mind you going for kills like that. Some of this was good. Everything up until this moment was fine until you decided the Moira out. Like, all you need to do at this point is create backline pressure for your teammates and survive. That's it, right? That's all you need to do. The point I'm getting at is it's okay to go on those like side angle flanks. Like I know obviously we just pointed out earlier you were not really looking at your Zarya. Once again, this is why it's situational. And this is one of those moments where I think you did everything right up until you decided to ult this. Like all you need to do is save your fade, put pressure on the backline. The moment they turn, just get out and go here again. A lot of like Moiras, especially when I play against them in top 500, and this is just going to show you a play style. This isn't saying that you have to play like a top 500 Moira, right? Like I understand each rank plays differently. We always have. But what you need to kind of like worry about is knowing when to back away. So going for an aggressive flank play, fine, is what it is. But you need to know when to back away to end up back to your team. This is one of those moments where you just didn't do that. You overcommitted and you lost your Moira ult. So kind of the right idea of being aggressive at times, but certainly not doing what you did there. You're very much just standing in front of their team all the time. Every ult you do is like, hey, I'm in front of your face. Good luck. And then they just roll you. So, got to be careful of that. Did that ult would have worked out if they ulted sooner? Maybe. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. That's a nano, that's for sure. That certainly is a nano. Your teammate. This is fine. This part is fine for now. Yes. This is fine. Now back away. Yep, there you go. You've done what you're supposed to do. Now do it again. Yep. And then back away. I'm not even gonna be mad. I think the Sojin just hit a good shot on you. And then the BAP finished the kill. Maybe you could have waited like an extra second on your cooldown time and so you could like react a little bit quicker to that, but like you're doing what you're supposed to do in that situation. They just made a good play. Sometimes you can make a good play and they just make a better play. It just happens. That's a window. Now you gotta wait. Now you wait. I do want to get you back into kind of resource management at times. I think sometimes you're trying to pre-heal a little bit too much. Like you're predicting there's going to be a lot of damage. And you could argue that like that's fine. Like you could argue that's fine. As in like, you know, you expect your teammates to take a lot of damage because of position. But I think in this situation, I'm just watching you. I wanted to pause here because like I want you to see your resource level and kind of where you're at. I know that the Maug is taking a little bit of damage, but like I don't think your resources should be at where they're at right now. Basically, you got to just work on your resource management. Remember, I mean, it's pretty straightforward with Moira. Like your damage orb, your damage gives you your resources back, and then obviously that's how it works. So I think in that situation, you can see where you almost had to use like kind of like a not ideal Moira ultimate. All because you already wasted a ton of your resources prior. Now you need to get out. Good job getting out. Well played. Your teammate's dead over there. Nothing you can do about a Reaper taking a 1v1. I have a feeling this Reaper's going to run at you in a 1v1, though, because I think this is the Soldier 76 that we saw earlier. Yeah, they're going to keep going in. Yeah, that one was apparent from earlier. Okay. Keep your teammate alive. I'm okay with the floor Moira orb still. It floats to the skybox, but sometimes you got to use it. Yep. Got a lot of damage there. Nice job grabbing the health pack. You know you have an advantage now. Throw a damage over in front of you. Now, don't fade in yet. You can stay on the outside of this, too, if you need to. Good job. Good Mauga ult. You can put some damage up there. Nice one clip on the Moira. Reaper's obviously on the high ground. Going to come down with Reaper ult. Here it comes. Pretty much saw that coming from a mile away. I respect the efforts. So you're turning around. You're going into the team. Once again, I want you to be careful of doing this consistently. I just think sometimes you're going to get yourself killed doing that when you can win by playing it safe. Worked out anyway. Good tour ball by your teammate. And while not perfect, your team does finish with a little bit of time. Little bit of time. You're going to guess gold? I don't know yet. I'm still kind of leaning towards silver based off of what I've seen. I could very much be wrong, though. Like, it's going to be one of those, we'll wait and see, you know? Obviously, you have back-to-back attacks here because of the time on the clock. We'll see what you do. Healing Orb's good there. Teammate, I mean, that's on your diva. Like, your diva's... Sometimes, like, you can't... Your teammates just do something like that, and there's, like, nothing you can do about it except just be like, yep, that certainly was what the decision was. Okay. So now I want to point out, this makes sense now, right? Like going up here like this time makes a little bit more sense to me, right? Your Diva's playing too aggro. You want to put some pressure on their team. This is why, like, this one makes sense. You know, it's still, they have 4 there. You could argue they're down 1, go in the front. But, like, I don't mind this one. This one's fine. I'd be a little bit quicker. That was a nice shot by their Moira, too, but nothing you can do about that. This part, now it gets a little bit more interesting. I don't know... I mean, listen, I don't need to tell you that this whole sequence is not, no. This whole sequence is basically like, you're trying to do too much. Like, you get yourself killed by going in too deep. You go up here on the side stairs. But, like, here's the thing. You don't need to be, like, super secretive about going up on these side stairs. So I watched you kind of, like, crouch your way here, and then you end up losing a teammate, and then you end up losing your, like, I love the idea of going here to kind of create angles for your teammates and, like, put pressure on their backline. Basically, they don't deal with you, you get kills. If they do deal with you, then your teammates get space. But instead, you decided to go to the point, stand on the point, and then end up basically staggering yourself out late. Now, I don't know if you win the team fight, if you get stuck here, etc., but this is just not an ideal sequence. So, like, just to give you an idea, going up here, fine. I get it. And I showcased that in the first half. Going here, standing behind them, staring at them, going, hey, and then staggering yourself with 7 seconds on the clock, not so much of a play you need to do. I mean, that part's a given on that one, right? So I would try next time to try to time that better or not. You don't have to crouch walk there. It's okay if they know you're there. Sometimes that's even better, that they know you're there, in my opinion. Watch Bastion kill 5 here, and then you just win. Yep. And then instead... your teammates get held, and then now you're here. Now, granted, you could win, right? There's probably a world where you can win this one, but this may not be it, you know? Not bad on the heal. Everything seems fine here. Looking for a good heal there. Yeah, your team just getting run down. Problem. Okay. I'm a little bit... your angle is okay here. I'm just concerned about your Ana. But if it works, I'm okay with this. I think you're understanding angles well. I think you're not understanding, like... why an angle is strong and when to like, approach that angle. So like you're on your way there, and just remember an easy way to like know when an angle is good and when it's bad is, one, are you essentially, do you have cover or a disengage point? That's your first step to an angle. You could argue yes, you can go to the back hallway. And how quickly are you getting to that engage angle? For example, like that one time you took a little bit of time, you know, that was a make or break between possibly capping the point in overtime for a little bit, right? Like, you know the Reaper's there too. Like, this is why be careful, because that Reaper... okay. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm just like... that Reaper could have killed you there very easily. So I just want you to be wary of staying in those spots for too long. I'm more than positive they nice ult. I'm more than positive they picked a second perk. It's a glitch of the spectator, see? I just need to do that to be able to check to see what they're doing. Okay, there's the window. Your teammates need to back away and not peek it. Actually, that's a good Bastion ult. That's a good Bastion ult, because it's going to go right to the window, yep. And it hit the wall, too. To the wall, so that was good.
This ends now.
Waiting for it. Rissa... well, Rissa has her shield through perks. That's a perk. So you give up Javelin Spin, which I think that's a cool decision making. Like, you have like the decision between Javelin Spin or Shield. That is cool with perks. That type of decision making. That was an ult. Okay, this is a unique go of things here. Good healing orb. That's going to give you a lot of ult charge too. Moira is going to fall over. Nice job. Be careful here. Heal your teammates. That orb is okay. I'm okay with that. Like, I don't think it was like Your Ana was there, but hey, I'd rather you play it safe. This one's a little bit risky again. You're timing, but the right timings, right? Okay, you know they're behind you. You have your ult. You can pop your ult here now if you want. I actually pop it sooner than later. Yeah. Damn, the team's reaction to you in their backline as Moira there was certainly something. Target focus could have been a little bit better out of you there. Remember, you want to put pressure on their supports. They have to make a decision. And I think you, to an extent, made it easier on the supports. But, you just go here. Nice shot. Yep, there you go. There you go. And then Moira. Okay, so there you go. Let me see if I can get lucky with this one and ah, damn it! Okay, so we'll start with the advice for you first, straight up. A lot of what you're doing, like you have the right idea sometimes. That's a good sign here. I think your problem is that you don't know when to like put the brakes on something. So what you're doing is you go in, you take an angle. Now, first of all, when you start taking these angles, I want to see you do them a little bit quicker. I think you're worried about them hearing you. Here's the magical thing here. If I have a Moira flanking me, most of the time I can hear them from a mile away. That is a part of the problem sometimes, in a good way, for like, if you're on Moira. Because if I hear a Moira behind me, I know the Moira has to engage. And if I don't deal with them, I know the Moira is going to pop off, but then you start to over-worry about the Moira in your backline. So I want to see you be a little bit more willing to uncrouch a little bit on those flanks. But let's get to those flanks quicker. Let's get to those plays quicker. I think that's the first step. Understanding number advantages. Sometimes you have number advantages. The last thing you want to do is fade in front of their team. That was the number one problem I saw you do sometimes, is like, you get aggressive, you take an angle, great. But you want to use your fade as a way out, as a survivability tool. And I think that's where you're having a problem on Moira, is that you're using your Moira, like, engage. And let me phrase this here. If you're getting to a spot, right, like if you're going to a back, like an alley to go up the stairs like on King's Row, that's fine to use your fade. But if you're using your fade into the team, that is your problem. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you want to make sure you use your fade as a disengage tool so you can make these aggressive plays and then get back to your team for safety. And then on top of that, when you fade back into them, if they need any HP or heals, etc., you now are available to do that. So I think you have the right ideas at times, especially with like taking those angles. That part was good. The next step is recognizing when to like, I can simplify it. Like I said, just use it as a disengage tool, not an aggression tool. Okay? Then you can start to learn from that, right? So that's where I'm at with that. I think you work on those first. Everything else will come with time. Now, to guess your rank, I'm going to go with, like, Silver 4. I think that you're in lobbies where you're still getting bronze lobbies occasionally, but you've climbed enough because, like, I think you're doing some good things that would still work. Like, for example, I watched you run into a Soldier 76, and their reaction was to back up and not really deal with you when they could have easily killed you, right? So I'm going to guess, like, Silver 4-ish. A Silver 4 also can give you, like, people mentioning gold. Like, I think like, silver is this, like, very unique spot where, like, some lobbies you're going to get silver lobbies with, like, in a bronze lobby, and then sometimes you're going to get silver lobbies with gold lobbies. So, like, it can have a different approach. But we'll see. We'll see if I was right or wrong. I could be completely wrong. And the rank is gold 2. So, you know what? Even better than I even remotely was. Now, keep in mind, I did debate myself into this one because you said you didn't feel like you made a lot of progress since then. But I would say, from bronze 4 to gold 2, that's still pretty damn good. Because I took that into account a little bit, and like, I'm like, okay, I still think that's pretty good. Bronze 4 to gold 2 is pretty good progress. Obviously, like, you would love to be, you know, top 500 in that amount of time, but like, everybody progresses differently. You could argue that bronze 4 to gold 2 was pretty good. Now, next step, apply some of the knowledge we gave you, and I think you'll be in a much better spot again. I think, like, now knowing that it's in gold, I think, like, you can... Now you just need to, like, fine-tune some of the stuff that we were talking about. I think you'll end up in a good spot. So, you got this. You absolutely got this. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to all the YouTubes if you haven't. Leave a comment. All of it helps. You want to submit your own spectating, description below is my Discord. That's where you do that. We also record these live on stream. See the Twitch channel of the webcam. Also stream on YouTube. So stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun here. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.